Good morning. All right, we are going to talk about some stuff today. It is 8:55 in the morning. I do need to make breakfast, but I'm nowhere near being able to make breakfast because I got to clean the pan and clean up this disaster over here. See? So there's no place to make breakfast yet, so I'm just drinking coffee. But somebody brought up a good point this morning. They said, "Stacy, how's your food pantry doing?" Well, the truth is I don't know. I don't know because I haven't gotten any food pantry in 2 weeks. I've been super duper crazy busy. But the other thing is I don't need anything. Let me show you what's here and why I don't need anything. All right, so here's the bottom pantry. It's full. It's full. Brown sugar. I got these on clearance. They were like $3.30. I paid for these, and I got a huge bag of Kit Kats and a huge bag of Reese cups that I've been working on for like 2 days. There's still quite a few in there. So I get my Halloween candy on clearance if I can afford it. This year I could. So I got a little bit of Halloween candy. The other thing is this is full. I got 2 bags of sugar, a little bottle of oil, some pancake syrup. I didn't even think, look at that. I didn't even know I had this. This is what? Sliced carrots. They're expired by last month, by 3 days. But anyway, what is this? Oh, it's coffee. The rest of my coffee from a big bag of coffee, which means my coffee thing is full. Pineapple, peanut butter. I got 2 jars of peanut butter. I got a whole bunch of yeast. We come up here and look at the top pantry. Look at that, folks. I got sodas, not a lot. I didn't get a lot from CVS, so not a lot of soda. But I got coffee flavoring. This was $20 for 3 on Amazon, and I was paying like $4 for like 1/2 this size at Dollar General. So I got coffee flavoring. I got sodas. I'll move these. I need to get some more sodas. I need to make a run down to Dollar General is what I really need to do. And I don't really want to do it. So here's a soda. This actually fell out of the fridge. So it's been washed. But it's like hanging out up here. So what else is there? I got my coffee flavoring. I got pasta sauce. I got pasta sauce. I got pasta. It's over here in the corner. I got cocktail sauce, right? Cocktail sauce. I got 3 bottles. There's one in the fridge that's open. Tomato sauce, which I bought a bit back. I got cans of chili that I was having difficulty getting from the food pantry, so I went ahead and bought some. I got some corn. I still have a couple cans of chicken. There's a can of chicken, but I haven't been eating that stuff. I got some rice and pancake mix back in the bottom too. So I got lots of food in the pantries. And then folks, this is, let's go over here. This is what is really crazy. So here's my freezer, okay? The only thing I'm missing is a loaf of bread. This is all full. And I've got a whole chicken in there. I've got chicken legs in there. I've got, peppers, tortilla shells. I've got calamari. I love calamari. This was $14 at BJ's. $14 for like 1.75 pounds of calamari. And I've been eating on this for a few days. I've got 2 pounds of frozen shrimp, which I opened wrong, but I got 2 pounds of frozen shrimp. It was, I don't know, like $15, $16 for the frozen shrimp. This, back in here, there's a pound of hamburger for the food pantry. I've got onions. I am out of potatoes, but, that's a sausage I haven't eaten yet. I just don't need anything. I got plenty of food. So I'm probably not getting any food pantry on Wednesday of this week, which would be today. I'm not getting any food pantry today, which would be the day that the video comes out. It's actually Monday the 3rd, but so I don't need anything. This is, what is this? Biscuits I made. I made biscuits. I've got a pound of butter. I might need more butter. The fridge has, this is difficult. So let me lower you if I can. Gosh almighty, it's not doing it. All right, it's being bad. So here's the fridge. I have a bunch of eggs. I have most of a gallon of milk that expires in 2 days. I've got cheese. I had to order an emergency pizza the other day because I had like a cold kitchen catastrophe, and I'll show you that. And here's what's in the door. Flour. I got to throw that cornmeal mix away. It was expired the day I bought it. More pancake syrup. There's another jar of peanut butter hot sauce. There's some sour cream I need to throw away. The butter. I got more butter down here. And some lemon juice down there. So, plenty of food. And I had to order the pizza. Because if we come over here, you'll notice that this is all clean. Well, I went to make some calamari and shrimp. So I went to make some calamari and shrimp the other day, but I had to do dishes. So I put my sprayer that I just got in the bucket to fill the bucket. This bucket, that sprayer, to fill that. And the sprayer did the twisty-do. Yep, it twisted in the thing and started doing this. Yep, spraying straight up. And I'm trying to get a recipe on my computer for creamed spinach, right? So I'm digging up my recipe for creamed spinach. And my sprayer is making a huge water mess all over here. Look at that. So there's like nothing over here now. Because I had to clean up this whole area because it was soaked. In fact, I haven't done any dishes in a couple of days because really after that, who wants to do anything dish-wise? So, all of this pretty much got thrown away except for what I must keep. That stuff's expensive, especially those pots. So, everything over here got thrown away. And I had to wash this whole thing. I did not wash the stove. It was actually hot. I was heating up my skillet to wash it so I could make some creamed spinach and mashed potatoes. But anyway, so that's why there's leftover pizza in the fridge. Because after I got done with this, I had to take a shower and that was the end of that. So that is that story, and I don't need any food pantry. The good news is that pizza was free, but my Domino's doesn't let you get a free pizza, and they don't deliver it. They're like, you have to have an order minimum. So I ended up having to spend $13 to get that free pizza, which is why it's still in there, because honestly, I probably would have ate the whole pizza like the day I got it, but I had to get tater tots and ranch sauce, and the delivery fee was almost $5. That's crazy. So yeah, I don't think I'll be getting pizza too much because that $5 is a lot for a delivery fee. That's crazy. So all right, so why are food pantries out of food? Well, let's explore it. Let's dig in to this food pantry problem. And as you can see up here, I said food pantries out of food. That's my search. This browser is Vivaldi, and I'm now using Bing search. So this is Copilot or something. It's not as good as Google Gemini, but it's all right. So, the overview on why our food pantry is out of food is food pantries are facing a significant shortage of food supplies due to a combination of federal funding cuts, inflation, and a drop in available goods. The USDA has announced a $1 billion cut for programs that pay local farmers to provide food to schools and pantries, which has led to a halt or reduction in deliveries through the Emergency Food Assistance Program. This situation has left many food pantries, especially those in rural areas, struggling to meet the rising costs of food insecurity. Volunteers and community members are stepping up to fill the gap, but the ongoing challenge remains a pressing issue for food pantries across the country. Okay, so there's the food pantry issue is twofold. First of all, they all lost $1 billion. Now, technically, mine isn't supported that way, but they've been out of food for months. And it's been due to high demand. Okay? Now, what is going on in the last week that could wipe out a food pantry? PBS. This is PBS. This is the one thing I don't like about Bing and Vivaldi. Pulling up a link is really just a slow process. So this is PBS. Quit that. God, I hate that crap. Food banks are preparing for a surge as SNAP aid may be paused in the government shutdown. This was October 28th. There has been no food stamps since the 1st. And we'll pull that up. So I put in, this is another window, food stamps paused. As SNAP benefits are cut off, Chicagoans line up at food pantries. I'm surviving, I'm not living, that's what somebody said. And that's true. Here's the deal. When you're on food stamps, like I said in the other part of the video, you run out of food about a week to a week and a half before you get your stamps. So it is scroungy, even if you're on food stamps. You'll eat real good for about 2 weeks, not so good for about 3 days, and then the last 7 to 10 days of the month are just torture. And it just is. So it doesn't surprise me that the minute they said they're not going to fill the food stamps this month, that people started going to the food pantries pretty much immediately. I mean, that's what I would do. If I know that it's the 20th of October, and let's say I get my food stamps the first week in November, and they're telling me there ain't going to be any food stamps, I'm going to start going to the food pantry now. Not later, now. Because I'm already out of food, and it ain't going to get any better. And food pantries don't give you enough food unless you're mine, and mine does a reasonably decent job of giving enough food for one person to eat on the week. But if you have 4 people in your household, you know, it's still an issue. So you're going to start going now to the food pantry because you're probably not going to get your food stamps when you expect them. So you're not going to be able to go grocery shopping. So you better start getting your food stamps now, or your food pantry now, right? It's not hurting anything. You might as well go. But let's see. Well, Michigan approved $71 million for food aid, but let's do this one first. If it loads. This is the one problem with this browser. It's really, really slow. So as SNAP benefits are cut off, Chicagoans line up at food pantries, right? Anxiety and distrust remain high despite rulings Friday that the government must fund the food assistance program. President Trump said he would fund SNAP but wanted more direction from the court, which won't happen until today. Today is Monday, November the 3rd. So nobody got their food stamps Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And they're already lining up the food pantry. So, let's see. Food pantries and pop-ups on south and west sides were hit with long lines Saturday as federal funding for food assistance was frozen and families facing uncertainty over their benefits attempted to supplement meals. Right? Exactly what I would do. If you tell me I ain't getting my food stamps, I'm going to start finding a food pantry. And I'm going to get there. And I might find more than one. Because if you get $300 in food stamps, you were expecting to be able to go to the grocery and get $300 worth of food over the weekend. Now you got nothing. Okay? So, and food pantries aren't going to give you $300 worth of food. They're not. So you're not going to get $300 worth of food from the food pantry. You'll get like $30 to $60 worth of food from the food pantry. And it may not be everything you need, and some of it may not even be stuff you want. Because sometimes you don't get to choose. All right, so this is starting Saturday. Nearly 2 million Illinois residents, 42 million across the country, are going without supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits. They're not getting their grocery money. And by grocery money, I mean strictly food money. That's all SNAP buys is food money. So, in theory, they could have some toilet paper money that they could spend on food. They could have some soap money that they could spend on food because food stamps doesn't pay for that stuff. It's unlikely, but they might use that money to buy a little bit of food. But again, usually when you're broken on food stamps, every dollar's got to do double duty. I mean, you got to make that dollar act like it's $2 if you're on food stamps, and you actually have a dollar. So let's see. The administration has until Monday to decide whether it will partially or fully fund the food assistance program. Trump said he would provide the money, but wanted more legal direction from the court, which won't happen until today, which I think I just read. So we got a resident here standing in line at Sabina Church in Auburn, one of the 6 emergency food hubs hosted Saturday by the Greater Chicago Food Depository to help meet the increased need. She collected one of the organization's pre-packaged boxes, meaning she didn't get to choose what was inside of it. It had 20 pounds of groceries that included pasta, peanut butter, tuna, and oatmeal. 500 boxes were distributed at each site. So that's what was in the boxes. Pasta, like spaghetti noodles, peanut butter, tuna, and oatmeal. Think about what you can make with that. These are what the food pantries are handing out because that's what they've got, right? These pop-ups don't have refrigeration. So she's not going to get milk, butter, meat, vegetables, unless they were fresh or canned, but it doesn't even sound like they got canned on this one. Yep, and here's what I was saying. She said, I don't want to miss this food giveaway, and they say, and have them say, we decided we're not going to feed you this month with the SNAP, right? So as of today, the 3rd, I didn't see any direction on whether they're going to actually supply those SNAP benefits. So everybody's running to these food pantries, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't blame them one bit. So let's take a look at this other article. Michigan Senate approved $71 million for food aid. So Michigan actually voted and said, we're going to fund SNAP. That's what I think that means. If this would hurry up. Michigan Senate approved $71 million for food aid ahead of SNAP benefits pause. This was 3 days ago. So this article went out 3 days ago, so it went out on Friday. Michigan Senate has approved putting $71 million toward helping feed families as federal food assistance is set to pause next month. So actually they did this on October the 30th. So they're going to try and backfill some of the SNAP funds. So that went to the House. But they have to wait 5 days. So they haven't even finished that one yet. But they're trying. So that's the end of it. Let's see what else there is on food stamps. Mecklenburg County, I don't know where that is. I don't think that's Indiana. WSOC TV, where is this? I have no idea. Mecklenburg County. Yeah, they're not saying. I have no idea where that is. So they're trying to get more food resources. They're going to spend $740,000 to support food resources for residents affected by the suspension of SNAP benefits. And looks like this is just more food pantry with local community and food resource partners to provide relief to the approximate 138,500 SNAP participants in the area. The funding will enhance food pantry resources, distribute additional food boxes, and offer financial assistance through gift cards and vouchers. So technically, they're going to also offer some cash to go to the grocery. So that's good. I just don't know where this is. I have no idea where Mecklenburg County is. Charlotte. That is in North Carolina, I think. Yeah, I think that's in North Carolina. All right, so North Carolina's doing something. Michigan's doing something. Illinois is doing something. This is... Yeah, the government shutdown is in day 34. What is going on here? This page is being bad. Stop that. Monday marks the 34th day of the federal government shutdown. And now there's no SNAP benefits. That has never happened. I read an article the other day that said once food stamps started, they have not been paused. So this is the first time ever that food stamps have been paused because of the federal government shutdown. And we've had several of these over the years. I remember one in the 90s, and I was much younger and much more naive, and I thought, well, that'll teach them. None of them will get paid, so until they do something. Well, it turns out Congress and the president still get paid. Whoops. So by tomorrow, which is Tuesday, November the 4th, it'll be tied for the longest shutdown in American history. And I was reading an article the other day on air traffic controllers. A lot of them are calling out. Well, a lot of them haven't been paid in a month. In fact, that's all the government employees that haven't been paid in a month. But Congress and the president got money. They need to end that right now. There's a government shutdown, nobody gets paid. Zilcho Casho. So the air traffic controllers, a lot of them are calling out because they haven't been paid. And here's the deal. It's probably not because they don't want to go to work, because I'm guessing everybody will get their money as soon as the government, comes back online. But where would you be at 34 days or 45 days after getting paid? Well, you ain't paying your mortgage, you ain't paying your electric bill, you're not paying your gas bill for your house or your internet or anything else. And you're probably out of gas money to get to work. You're out of food money for lunch. You can't go to work. You're out of money. It costs money to go to work. And that's something I've been digging into over the last couple of weeks, because I'm going to have to get a W-2 job for several years. And that's what I've been digging into, because they're going to pay X salary, but the minute you have to go to work, it costs you money. So it's not free money. To go to work, you got to buy clothes, you got to buy gas for the car, you got maintenance for the car, you've got lunch money and other incidentals. It's actually very expensive to go to work, which is why work from home is so amazing. It'll cut your costs in half, so your money goes super duper far. You can actually save money when you work from home and get a decent salary. But so yeah, it's probably not that these air traffic controllers don't want to go to work, is that they no longer can. The car's out of gas, they're out of food, they can't go to work. Whoops, somebody wasn't thinking. So lots of things are going bad at this point because nobody's been paid for like 30 plus days. And now millions of people are without critical food assistance. 2 federal judges are saying that the payments must move forward. The USDA has a contingency fund. I'm not sure why they're not using that. There was another 35-day stoppage during Trump's first term. 200 pantry partner distributions in Metro Detroit. And they've got a 10 to 15% increase in demand. I'm not surprised. So, that's what's going on with the food pantries, why they're out of food. I happen to be blessed. I don't need any food pantry at this point, so I'm probably not even going to get any this week just because I want to lessen the demand on my food pantry, and I have food in the fridge, obviously. So I'm not starving. I feel very blessed to actually have the food in my fridge and to have another way to get food. Although it was a little tight the first couple of months I was doing this BJ's thing because I couldn't buy a whole lot because I had to really scrimp and save to get the initial BJ's money. And of course my dad helped me out a little bit too. And, now I'm doing all right a couple of months later. But these guys are really struggling, and I know what that struggle is. Because by the time your food stamp money rolls around, you're out of food. You've been out of food. And it's tough. Try to do anything when you're hungry. It is 10 times more difficult. It really is. But anyway, folks, I think that is the end of this video. Have a wonderful day. If you're struggling with food, hit up your local food pantry. If you can hit up more than one, do that, because I think everybody and the food pantries are struggling right now. It is a tough market out there. It's tough for everybody. So anyway, have a wonderful day. I hope you all have food in the fridge. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will bring another interesting video to you soon. Have a wonderful day.